City of Lies stars Johnny Depp and Forest Whitaker as Russell Poole and Jack Jackson, who investigate the murders of rappers Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. This is directed by Brad Furman, who also gave us films like The Infiltrator and the very underrated The Lincoln Lawyer, and it's based on a book called Labyrinth by Randall Sullivan, which examined the murders of Tupac and Biggie Smalls. The segments of Poole and Jackson here are meant to be based on the real Poole's collaborations with Sullivan that became the basis of his book. The film was actually made in 2018, but got pulled from the schedule until it got a brief March theatrical release this year. A variety of reasons have been reported and speculated, but never confirmed. And since they haven't been confirmed, we're not going to get into that here, though I'd say look up the story behind it if you can, as it is interesting. And the thing with this film is, it can be engaging, and it does feel a bit ambitious. It almost reminded me a little of Oliver Stone's JFK film, as the two do have some similar structures. Both are based on actual investigations decades later of famous cases. Both incorporate some real footage, and both contain ensemble casts. Though this film's ensemble cast is a little more rooted in the TV world. We get a few cast members of the show Sons of Anarchy popping up here, along with Shea Whigham, Toby Huss, and a few others. Though Biggie Smalls' mom, Voletta Wallace, does actually appear here as herself in a small supporting role, which I wasn't aware of till actually seeing this. The film cuts back and forth between two time periods, 1997 during the initial investigation, and 2015 when Jackson's working with Poole. It attempts to capture the mood of both time periods, especially diving into the ties between Biggie's murder and the Rampart scandal in the 90s, and it attempts to tie it all together into a compelling narrative, as a way of showing the parallels between past and present. Now, I think this does a solid job of getting the atmosphere down. It's shot well, and there are scenes as we dive deeper into some of these investigations that can hold your interest, though I wouldn't say the film's compelling as a whole. Mainly because it's trying to cover so much, and there are times where it didn't dive as deep as it could have on a few things, mainly suffering during the present-day sequences. I'd say this probably would have worked much better as a documentary, where it would have cut out all the attempts at character development that ultimately fall flat. Because the film's great at presenting us all this information surrounding the case, and if you're someone who always took an interest in this subject matter, as I have, then you'll be intrigued whenever the film actually dives into the case itself. But your investment in this film will only go as far as that, as the material with Poole and Jackson doesn't hit as hard as it could have. We get a lot of cryptic, philosophical statements between the two, and there are scenes that are meant to come off as bold as they ask these big questions, but these ultimately hide the fact that outside of the case itself, there's nothing interesting about any of these characters. The film certainly tries to make them seem interesting, but if they really wanted to go down the narrative route, this needed to be along the lines of a two-part miniseries, as it felt we only scratched the surface with these characters. It's a film that certainly tries, and it can be genuinely intriguing, but it's a film that's less than the sum of its parts. If you're really into the subject matter, you might get something out of it, but I'd say you're probably better off checking out a documentary on either Biggie or Tupac or both instead. City of Lies gets a 5.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see City of Lies, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did this story ultimately work for you? Do you have a favorite true crime film? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.